Hi, this is Dr. Megan Buning with FSU Coach, and I'm here with Figure It Out Baseball. So today I want to talk about a little tip or trick that I use to help kind of lay the foundation for a lot of the mental work that I use with other clients. And this is a fairly easy task that I'm going to show you, and it has to do about breathing. And the reason I say it's easy is because it's something that you can practice anywhere and you can use it at any time. When you talk about breathing, you see athletes all the time taking deep breaths. Or if you think about it, if you go to the doctor's office and the doctor says, take a deep breath, it's because they want to hear what's going on in your lungs, right? And if you watch other athletes, sometimes you'll see them step up to the box or they're on the pitching rubber or something like that, and you'll see them take a deep breath and then they'll exhale and then they'll go into their motion. And that is part of a pre-performance routine, which we'll talk about in another video. But I want to distinguish between the types of breaths that I just mentioned. So if you think about it, if I say, and I want you to pause and try this, if I say take a deep breath, what do a lot of us do? I inhale, big breath, and you notice that my chest comes up. So I'm going to use this bar so you can see how my chest is going to come up. So I'm going to take a deep breath and let it out. So when we take that type of breath and we expand through the chest, that's called chest breathing. And there are some places for that. So for instance, if my muscles are really tight and I need to be fluid through my movement, I think particularly through a pitching motion, and I say take a deep breath, breathing through your chest while raising your shoulders and then exhaling at once is a good way to help that tension kind of come out of your muscles so that you're relaxed through that movement. But diaphragmatic breathing is another type of breathing that I want to talk about. So it's a different type of breathing. If you've ever heard of belly breathing, that's what diaphragmatic breathing is. If you are trained as a singer or if you play a wind instrument where you have to blow into the instrument, you've probably been taught diaphragmatic breathing. This is a technique where we learn how to breathe through the muscle that's called our diaphragm. And it runs just above our ab muscles and underneath our lungs. So that if we can learn how to breathe through our diaphragm and engage this muscle or part of our body to breathe, it's going to give us more oxygen to our brain, and it helps us get this calming relaxation through our body, helps us to focus. You can also use it to help with pain management. So if you have an injury going on or you're coming off of surgery, you can use diaphragmatic breathing to help you control the pain. I like diaphragmatic breathing not only for all those other reasons, but also because what it does is it helps us create a pause. So if we've got all these things going on in our mind, that we threw a bad pitch or somebody just jumped down our throat or we struck out looking, something like that, we have all these emotions and things that we want to say or do or negative thoughts, and we tend to react. If you can learn to take a diaphragmatic breath, it can also help you pause and think before you get into that reaction. And we'll cover some of that in some other videos. But let's get to the technique, because it is something that you need to learn. So the easiest way to learn diaphragmatic breathing, if you've never done it before, is to lay down on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay down. A good time to practice this is in the morning or at night. When you're already laying down, you're kind of relaxed, you want to practice getting in that relaxed state of mind, because that's the effect you want it to have when you actually do it. Now I'm going to use this ball to show you where my chest is rising or not. So basically I'm going to teach you how to breathe without raising your chest. And the way that we practice diaphragmatic breathing, notice that my back is flat on the ground, my feet are also flat, and I still have good posture when I'm laying down. And that's going to be important. Shoulders, hips, everything's touching flat. And to practice this, I'm going to have to hold the ball still, but to practice, what I want to do is when I take that deep breath in through my nose, I'm going to exhale out through my mouth, and I'm going to feel like the diaphragm, which is right underneath this ball here, I want to feel like I'm pulling my diaphragm back towards the ground or back through my spine. All right, so you should notice that my chest doesn't really rise up a whole lot. So here we go. In through my nose, out through my mouth. Now what you may see is my belly is kind of coming up. And that's because of the way the diaphragm works. And that's what you want. So essentially, when you take those deep breaths, I'm pulling down and then exhaling through my mouth. And I'll feel a little dizzy because that's all the extra oxygen until I get used to it. Once you learn how to do it laying down, the next progression is to sit down. And so you can practice this at any point during the day. So if you're having a stressful day or you're sitting down to do your homework, this might be a good time to kind of set your mind and kind of trigger your focus. We'll use that too, and you'll hear me talk about it in other videos. Same idea. When I sit in my seat, I want to have good posture, feet flat on the ground. So if you've ever been in a chorus class or have a chorus teacher that says, we're ready to sing, move to the edge of your seat and sit up, it's because they want you to be able to engage your diaphragm when you breathe. Okay, so same concept. I'm going to keep the ball here just so you can maybe see a little bit better. In through my nose, out through my mouth, and I'm going to pull my diaphragm or my belly back towards my spine. So here we go. When you're first learning this, to get that relaxation effect that you're trying to train your body to feel, it's helpful to close your eyes if you can too. Remember, this is just practice, although you can use that technique in a game situation. So if I were to just close my eyes and relax, in through my nose, out through my mouth. There you go. Notice that when I take that breath in, there's a slight pause. So I'm in, pause, out. Now, once you progress and you know the technique, then you get to where you can try the diaphragmatic breathing or that belly breathing in your normal routine. So let's say that you're out at practice, you have your hitting routine, whatever it is you do before you get into the box or before you step on the rubber. So now, instead of taking that chest breath, again, if you need it to relax your shoulders, that's something different, okay? But if you need that relaxation, you need that zero into focus, I can step in or right before I get in, whatever you do, whatever your routine is, and I take a diaphragmatic breath. And now I focus into whatever it is, the task that I'm doing. And it takes practice like that. One, learn the technique, and then two, figure out how you can put it into your routine or when you can use it. Now, as you go along and you listen to more videos that I provide on mental performance, you'll notice that the diaphragmatic breath helps set the stage and lay the foundation for a lot of the other work that we'll do. So I'm Dr. Megan Buning with FSU Coach.